We are all about the retail this morning, Majid Al Futtaim. In our news headlines, as you've just heard, and also launching a children's supermarket. We are very pleased to be joined by MAF's CEO of Retail, Dr. Günther Helm. Dr. Günther, it's lovely to meet you. Thank you for joining us.
Brandy, thank you for having me today, and good morning to all your listeners.
And you're here to talk about the children's supermarket that you have just launched in one Carrefour to start with, which I want to get into. But before we do, you are in our headlines as well because of the Carrefour brand, and it would be remiss of me not to ask you about that. The news coming out that the Carrefour brand has closed down in Kuwait and Bahrain following Oman and Jordan last year, with Hypermax's opening in its place. Why has that happened?
It's a good question, actually. Every challenge brings opportunities, and especially in those markets, we've looked and listened very carefully to our customers. And with Hypermax, we are using the opportunity to really reconnect with the customers even more, to come up with a very local approach and customer promise. On the one hand, the offer what we're doing from the products, but also from the area that we are using a more local supplier base and offering for the first time our first owned retail brand, which is Hypermax.
Was it Carrefour's decision to pull the pin, or was it Majid Al Futtaim's?
It's our decision.
And you've made it because?
We made it, as I said, actually, to really connect with our customers and to use, it's a challenging environment for retailers in that area, that's for sure, but listening to the customers and really understanding what's the need, because our purpose is to serve the customer in the best way possible, with products, with value, what we're offering, with great prices. And by doing so, actually, when you look at what we've done in Jordan, what we've done in Oman, and just this week we started on Monday and yesterday in Kuwait, on Monday in Bahrain, the resonance and the feedback what we're getting back from customers is overwhelming. So we're quite happy with the first steps in that direction. And in those markets, it seems to be the right approach.
Will we keep Carrefour here in the UAE, or is that going to go as well?
Thanks for the question. As I've said, we are evaluating always the customer needs and the customer behavior. And in the markets, what I just mentioned, of course, we decided to move away. In the UAE, there is at the moment no plan to do so.
Has the possibility been discussed?
For sure, we always reflect on everything because we are here for the customers and to look into their needs. That's it.
What will that decision be based on? I've looked at your H1 results, retail revenue coming in 1% less. Will it be a purely financial decision or more than that?
It's a fair question, actually, but it's not a financial decision. It's really about listening to the needs of the customer and to what is the right format, what we're offering. And if you look at our first H1 numbers, MAF has really performed in a very, very good way. We are seeing green shoots in retail with customer growth. So customers are coming back, not only because of back to school. That's why Bright Bites is one of the topics I want to talk with you today, because we're offering with Bright Bites a concept where we really give the customers the opportunity when they're coming back from school to connect with their retailers in a unique way, what I will tell you in a second.
Yeah, I know. And the reason that we do have you in is to discuss the Bright Bites. But as I said, we would be remiss not to look at that headline. Last question. Is there any plan to bring the Hypermax brand into the UAE regardless?
Pardon?
Talk to me about the plans for the Hypermax brand in the UAE. Are you putting them in motion? Are you looking at what you could do here?
At the moment, not.
Okay. So the children's supermarket, which is opened in a Carrefour Mall of the Emirates. Tell us what you've created here.
Actually, last Monday, we opened Bright Bites, the world's first of its kind supermarket built especially for kids, where the kids are in the center of everything. And we're giving them the opportunity to make their own choices within a trusted framework. So that's the unique thing about it. And why are we doing this? Because we believe when kids eat better, they feel better, and they will do better. So as a purpose-led retailer, we created an ecosystem actually where we are blending shopping, playing, and entertainment together so that kids on the long term can make better choices.
And it's fruit and it's veg, and they get to pay for it at the checkout.
They have their own checkout, I have to say. And maybe just Bright Bite, to explain the Bright Bites ecosystem. And if you've not been there, you're happily invited officially now. And Mr. B and his besties welcome you there. It's an environment built within the store. So when you're going to the Mall of Emirates, where our flagship Carrefour store is, there is a shop-in-shop concept. So the world's first supermarket built especially for kids. and around the desire for kids and what they need to create healthy habits. And everything is around the lunchbox, which is actually the core of all what we're doing. Because think about, I'm a parent of 3 kids, that I have a daily hassle in the morning to get the lunchboxes right and done. And on the one hand, you have the challenge of your kids, what they want to eat or not want to eat. And with Bright Bites and the pre-designed products, we are able to give an easy, affordable, and healthy option to our customers. Because let's look at the bigger picture. For the first time, actually, we as a retailer, we are reinventing the interaction with suppliers because we are addressing a much bigger problem. We are addressing a global phenomenon, a pandemic, I would say, when it comes to child obesity, when it comes to oversugaring food. And with Bright Bites, and innovation coming from the UAE, coming from Dubai, we are able actually to fight this pandemic.
And we're going to be speaking to one of your suppliers, Sky Kurtz, Pure Harvest, Smart Farms, berries, tomatoes, etc., about exactly that. How much has Majid Al Futtaim invested in doing this?
Actually, we are not sharing that number because it's a substantial one, but it shows only if you think about the Carrefour store, what you have in the Mall of Emirates, which is the biggest and strongest one in the world, and dedicating a space only for kids in that supermarket is a commitment in itself. So Majid Al Futtaim, and following actually the vision of our founder to create great moments for everyone every day, this shows that we are really committed to change the course of time, to change the habits of kids, but not only on the UAE, because this concept, which is owned by Majid Al Futtaim, exclusively sold in Carrefour, as you know, has the opportunity to grow beyond the UAE as well.
And you've got an academy in there, cooking lessons, workshops, there's a schools program that's tied up with it as well. How big could it get? I mean, you alluded there to going beyond the UAE. What are the plans for expansion?
Actually, my way of leading this organization is being a force for good. And not everything what we're doing is perfect, but our intention is to become better every day. So why I'm saying this is we've launched this concept since Monday, and the feedback what we're getting so far is really overwhelming. Is everything in there already perfect? No. But we need the customer feedback and yours as well to say, well, what we can do better. There is already a great feedback from other markets that they want to look into this, yes, but we want to grow it slowly because it's like a small plant what needs time to rise, but we're quite confident that it will jump over the borders of the UAE.
Could we see them in every store at some point?
You will see the Bright Bites offering in our Carrefour stores because we are rolling them out in our supermarkets and hypermarkets. But the experience center, what you will see, the academy especially, you will see in the Mall of Emirates. Why is the academy so important? Because it's like a community hub which connects kids, teachers, parents and beyond to create an environment where they can really reshape healthy habits.
And we are going to hear from one company that has got on board with what Majid Al Futtaim is doing there in just a moment. The Majid Al Futtaim CEO of Retail, Dr. Günther Helm, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.